Just quickly talking about the Weber State game, was pleased with our team's effort. We clearly have a lot of work to do in a number of areas. I believe the old adage that teams make their most progress between games 1 and 2, and hopefully that'll be the case for us because we do have a lot of work to do. We know we have an extreme challenge in facing the University of Oregon this week. They're an excellent football team. They've got arguably one of the best coaching staffs in the country in Coach Kelly and his staff. They present tremendous issues offensively with their speed, with their tempo, with their athletes, and with their schemes. Defensively, Coach Eliotti's been there, I believe, 20 years now, and Nick does a great job. They've got great talent and present a big-time challenge for our offense as well. Having said that, I think our guys relish opportunities like this, and we're looking forward to the challenge. I think we started the game well. I think both sides of the ball at the start of the game played with the kind of intensity we wanted to play at. But like a lot of times in first games, there's the first game jitters for guys that have never played. There's new schemes on both sides, so we had some technical errors on getting some guys lined up properly. When you're in the classroom teaching it, and guys can take a test on paper, and you can go through a walkthrough, and they know what's going on, but they walk through the red wave on the way to the game, the lights are on. The game gets a lot bigger and faster to young guys when that happens, and sometimes they kind of lose their mind. So it was good that we got through that, and hopefully we can grow on that. And that's why teams typically make big time improvements between game and one and 2. So those are probably the things we did right. And then the other major thing that we did right was we had 100% ball security, and that's the you look around our room. I mean, that's what we talk about here. And then on defense, I was disappointed we didn't get more than one takeaway. We did win the turnover battle by getting that takeaway, and I think it was a critical one, and our offense capitalized on it. And so to see that finish in the fourth quarter was good to see. He's a good football player. He's an excellent football player for a guy that just started one game. He's extremely athletic. He can throw it very accurate. And with their scheme, with their tempo, they're going to put a lot of stress on you. Different style, but you look at what Oklahoma State, the Big 12, and Texas Tech, and Baylor. Again, I reference a lot of the Big 12 teams that gone against the last couple of years. West Virginia now, they're all different style, a little bit more throw-oriented, where Oregon's a little bit more option-oriented. I can tell you this, I don't think anybody is better than them. Those guys approach that. Their tempo is extremely fast, and you match that up with some extremely fast athletes, they put a lot of stress on you, and they give themselves opportunities for explosive plays, and it's a very effective tactic for them. Not in a long time. Reggie Bush probably, back a few years ago, kind of reminds me of that, just that the guy that can take over a game by just making those explosive burst type plays. He's a tremendous football player, and we have to be aware of where he's at all times and try to get multiple guys to him. Well, today's going to be a little bit more of a teaching introduction to Oregon's offense and defense. As we go later in the week, tomorrow, Wednesday, and Thursday, our offense is going to practice with our speakers blasting at them so that they're going to have to communicate where it's going to be very, very difficult. It's probably going to be most difficult on our offense typically, and I haven't been to Autzen, but typically fans realize they don't want to be yelling when their offense is on the field, so it's not as much of a factor for our defense. But it definitely affects you, when you're trying to communicate from quarterback to center along the lines, or just even coaches on the sideline. I've heard as loud as anywhere, and And I've been in a lot of places that it's hard, hard to hear. So I'm sure that'll be a big part of the challenge, and we'll try to address it through how we practice this week. They're big, they're physical, they can run. They schematically do some things where they bounce from odd fronts to even fronts. They've got a veteran group that plays really well together. They really chase the ball. But they're going to be a challenge for our offense.